their second straight Stanley Cup.
What's good, everybody? Let's talk some Tampa sports. Did the rest of the NHL underestimate the Tampa Bay Lightning going into this season? Obviously, back-to-back first-round losses, not what you want to see. A lot of noise around the whole Steven Stamkos situation. I get it. He's been the captain forever, and he leaves, goes to a different team. A lot of drama, a lot of he said, she said, and I think it kind of all got lost in the mix of this team made some pretty dang good moves this offseason, improving their 5-on-5 play, which needed to happen. They were extremely reliant on special teams power play last year. And in the playoffs, that just does not work. It does not work. Everyone knows this. It does not work. You cannot rely on power play. You got to be built in the 5-on-5 situations. And they made a massive change. Moving on from Stamkos, bringing in Jake Guentzel, who is a beast in 5-on-5. I think with the drama, with the noise, the Lightning weren't exactly looked at as contenders, true contenders. I'm not saying people thought they were going to be trash or anything like that. I'd say a top 15 team. But now I'm thinking, are they like top 7? Did the NHL really underestimate this team? As a fan, I know one of my biggest concerns was the power play. Losing Stamkos, I mean, he brings so much to a power play, just being able to sit there, wait for a puck. Kucherov on the other side, the best guy to have on the other side. Cross ice, one-timer, you can't stop it. We've seen it for a decade plus maybe, and that was gone. How do they reshape this power play with Guentzel and Point? Where do they keep Kucherov on that same side? Does Point stay in the middle? Does Point go outside? Where does Guentzel? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that goes into that power play, and it took some time to figure out. But yeah, they figured it out. At this point, I'm starting to think if Kucherov exists, you're going to have a good power play. It did take some time. Towards the beginning of the season, the power play was not great. They had to move things around, different piece here, piece there. You try this spot, you try that spot. And here they are. Third in the NHL in power play percentage without Steven Stamkos in his office. 1,000% a shock to me. At the beginning of the season, I'm like, if they can be like 12th, 13th, I'd be okay with it, honestly. Because I thought losing Stamkos was that big of a deal to special teams, especially the power play. And it turns out, yes, tiny bit of a dip maybe. Last year they were the best power play team in the NHL. Now they're third with much better 5-on-5 play. I'll take that all day long. So here's where the Tampa Bay Lightning currently stand. They're the top wildcard team in the Eastern Conference, but you got to pay attention to that number right there. Lightning have 40 points currently, and you look at the teams in the rest of the Atlantic. The Bruins, the Lightning have 4 games on them. The Maple Leafs, the Lightning have 3 games on them. Panthers, Lightning have 4 games on them. Once again, the Lightning have 40 points. With 4 games in hand, Bruins are only up 2. With 3 games in hand, the Maple Leafs are up 4. With 4 games in hand, Panthers are up 6. They're right there in the pack. Despite them being way down here in wild card spot, they are right there with the Florida Panthers, with the Maple Leafs in that Atlantic division. Once again, here's another look. Kind of give you, hey, the power play's kind of looking shaky. We're having to figure things out, but here's the ramp up right up here with the big dogs. They're right there with them. And we got to remember, we're not even halfway through the season yet. It's not even the All-Star break yet. This team is still figuring things out. With adding a piece as big as Jake Guentzel to that top line. Guentzel, Point, Kucherov. Once they really, truly get things clicking, like they know each other's tendencies, they know where each other's going to be at all times. Point, Kucherov have that. But Guentzel's still working in there. Oh my. I think it's already the best line in the NHL. Give them some more time. Come playoff time, nobody wants to see that first line. And then to my other concern, as a fan, is what's going on behind that first line. I have trust in Brandon Hagel, and he's absolutely, even though I thought he was going to have a good season, he's already going way above my expectations and what they were. bringing this back up. He's second on the team. Second on the team in points with 39, 16 goals, 23 assists, a plus 15. He's so big to this team. Penalty kill, energy, and the skill. He has it all for this team. And being on that second line is exactly what this team needed. And the play of him, I think, has elevated his partner in crime, Anthony Cirelli, on the penalty kill and on that second line. 13 goals, 17 assists, already has 30 points. And when you look at what he's done throughout his career, the most points he's ever put up is 45. We're not even halfway through the season and he's already at 30. That's something you got to realize how big this is for this Lightning team, that a two-way guy like Cirelli already has 30 points. If he can continue this offensively, along with Brandon Hagel on that second line, danger. And him, like Hagel, really good plus minus. Like I said, really good two-way player, really good two-way forward, plus 18 in the plus minus. Other additions that have been huge for this team and I think went under the radar. Yes, Ryan McDonough, he's a really good defensive player. He's a really good leader. Plus 20? You know how big that has been for this team to have a leader like Ryan McDonough in that locker room and leading that defensive effort? It's been huge. It has been huge for this team. J.J. Moser was playing fantastic. Unfortunately, he got a really rough injury. What was that, against the Flames? So that's unfortunate. But if he's able to get back before playoff time, he was playing fantastic. Fantastic as a 24-year-old defenseman. Hedman, already at 28 points. Gensel, 19 goals. Braden Point is on a tear, 22 goals on the season. Is that tied for fourth in the NHL? You can see it right here. And reminder, the Lightning pretty much have 3 to 4 games in hand on every team. So yeah, there's some stars that we already knew the Lightning have, but I think it's the additions, the Gensels, the McDonoughs, the Mosers. Connor Geekie is a young guy that's going to continue to get better and better. We got to remember, I see the fan base getting on him a good amount. What is he? 20 years old still. Still not even able to drink legally. His time will come. Some other numbers I find really impressive. Goals for. Once again, you lose Steven Stamkos, a 40-goal scorer. You would think there would be a dip there. Not really. Not really. The Lightning are fourth in the NHL, once again, with some games in hand on every team in the NHL at 81. You lose a 40-goal scorer, you're still right there in the top 5 in goals for. Goals against. Before I even click this filter, the Lightning were one of the, I wouldn't say one of the worst, but they were pretty terrible at times, especially 5-on-5. Just looking disorganized, leaving Vasilevsky out to dry. Well, you add a McDonough, you add a Moser. Sometimes that's all you really need. And they are 6th in the NHL in goals against. Goal differential. Number 1. Number 1 in the NHL in goal differential. That's a big stat. So once again, let me know what you guys think. I think the Lightning were slightly underrated, not majorly underrated. Like I said, I don't think people thought they were going to completely drop off. But I saw a lot of like 15th, 16th in people's power rankings. Personally, maybe a slight bias, but I've shown you guys numbers. I think it's higher than that, and it's going to be higher than that by the time the end of the season comes around, come playoff time. So, once again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments down below on what you guys think on this matter. Please like and subscribe. Go Bolts. Y'all have a blessed one.